On weigh-in this morning, she's been close before, but Kelly Alfarasha finally gets black-type success to her name with a strong breeders' win. A smart Ellen Nicholas ride helps Final return to Counties Cup glory in a gutsy staying effort. Ellen joins us on the show. How about this girl? It's all eyes to the $1 million prize for John O'Benner's filly. He's also with us this morning. And we're out and about for National Thoroughbred Week, while we also hit the fairways and some rough with some of the racing community. A very good morning to you. Welcome into Weigh In on your Sunday morning. Great to have your company as we look back at another fantastic day's racing, particularly down there at Pukekohe. Emily Murphy and Aidan Rodley with me in studio. Was a beautiful day and some really nice racing as well.
Yeah, there was some great racing, wasn't there? We saw some really good stories, I thought, and some lovely progressive horses as well. Plus, of course, we had the sun, we had good track conditions, which really added to the day.
Yeah, it sure did, Emily. And it's just a sign of summer racing's there, especially when we come off a couple of really cold, wet days down at Rickett and get to 4 black type races, good races, and a sign of good horses in good form ahead of some good upcoming summer features.
Speaking of black type races, we can take a look at the first of them. It was the feature on the card, the Auckland Thoroughbred Breeders' Stakes, won by Kelly Alfarasha.
The 8th of the afternoon, Group 2 racing. I'm looking forward to it. Number 4 is Carly Alfarasha, who's raced in top company in her past 2 starts. She comes back to the fillies and mares grade and looks nicely positioned.
So they've had a shot at 2 Group 1s this season. They've been beaten in the first 2 Group 1s of the season. Coming back in trip, she actually was second in the Counties Cup last year. So here she is in the Thoroughbred Breeders a year on, looking to try and get some Group 2 1400 metre spoils.
We're set to go here. Dunstan Horse Feeds Auckland Thoroughbred Breeder Stakes. Gates open thereof. Orchestral will get back in the early stages with Jaffe, and Arabian Songbird will settle down third last. First away is Back to Angel, headed off by Moving Melody, and right there is Bourbon Empress into third. 2 lengths away, Kelly Alfarasha and Provence, followed by Chateau Vallee. They turn for home. 450 metres left to go. Pacemakers are Moving Melody and Back to Angel. 2 lengths away, Maratiri Molly, Bourbon Empress, and behind them, Kelly Alfarasha descending on the scene. Running on late, Jaffe at the 150. It is Kelly Alfarasha in front, led by a length and a half, Provence. Jaffe's running on from Arabian Songbird, but Kelly Alfarasha wins the Breeder Stakes. Kelly Alfarasha put them to bed very, very quickly at about the 300 metres.
She was bringing recent Group 1 form, and she takes out the Group 2 Carly Alfarasha. Never in doubt, powers away to a lovely win here at Pukekohe this afternoon.
Fantastic to see her bounce back. Obviously, she's, I think, quadruple Group 1 place. And we were sort of obviously attacked the first 2 legs, and we weren't quite happy with her into the 3rd leg and give her a bit of a freshen up, and gee, she's come back really well. We thought 1400 might have been a bit sharp for her today, but gee, she sprinted well and was really good to the line, so hopefully she's in for an exciting summer.
Very good training effort from Mark and Sam. I think she's in for a pretty big prep. If she's done that over 1400 metres today, I think the further she gets, the better she'll be. She always seems to run into a better one. She's been beaten by El Vencedor, Provence and Orchestral, and she's put a nice field away today, so yeah, I'm very happy with her.
Yeah, nice performance indeed. Well done to the Tiako team with Kelly Alfarasha winning the Auckland Thoroughbred Breeders' Stakes, and Sam Burgesson, who's of course the trainer out of that barn, is with us now. Sam, thanks as always for jumping on early on a Sunday morning. Congratulations. Was it more, or what was it, joy or a little bit more relief, considering, as you say, she had placed so many times in Group 1, she'd placed, I think, 6 in black type as well, so to finally get that, what was the overall emotion for you?
Yeah, I suppose it was a combination of it all. So thrilled for the horse as well. Like, there's not much to her. I think she's 450 kilos, and she's probably not much to look at, but she's all heart, and she goes out there and she just tries so hard, and it was a big thrill for the team at home as well. She sort of come through. She was bred at Te Akau Stud by Dave and Karen, and a really good group of people come through the system. And early on we didn't think much of her, but she just keeps going to another level the more we ask of her. So a massive thrill, and really proud of her.
Sam, tell me about the thought process in sort of freshening her up and dropping her back in distance off those 2 Group 1s, because it would have been tempting, no doubt, to step her up and trip again.
Yeah, for sure. And especially when that Livermore field sort of fell away a bit really late, we were sort of kicking ourselves that we did sort of pull her out, but we're so glad we did now. Hindsight's obviously a really good thing, especially in racing. But we sort of worked her up leading into the 2000. And I think it was the Saturday before the Livermore, and she worked with Quintessa, and just the work wasn't quite up to her usual standard. So had a good chat to Mark and Dave, and we sort of thought maybe a little bit of a freshen up. And we sort of did something similar with Campionessa a couple of years ago, and she came through this race into the Kalaizuzu, into the Zabel, and she won all 3. And we sort of thought hopefully we could lightning could strike twice, and we could do it with Kwali, and fingers crossed we've ticked the first box. And yeah, she just come back in really good order. I suppose the spring has just been so tough this year with how wet it's been, and the tracks, on race day and preparing them as well. It hasn't certainly been easy. And I think the freshen up has just done her the world of good. And like you sort of said, previewing the show, we can look forward to hopefully a bit of sunshine and some really good racing.
Sam, I guess that poses the question. Now you've seen her sort of be so electric fresh. What is her pet distance? Because as Brendan said in that little package there, obviously this time last year she was placed in a Counties Cup. So what do you feel is her optimum trip?
Yeah, and even as a 3-year-old, she's Group 1 placed in the New Zealand Oaks. So I think the mile to 2000 is probably her sweet spot. But she is just so versatile, and she's got a really good racing style. She's able to sort of put herself on speed, and then she can just drop the bridle and sort of has a really good electric sprint. I think sort of the mile to 2000 is her go, and probably her record suggests that. But gee, she was really good there yesterday, so gives us a few options, which is always nice.
One thing she's got as well, and we're just seeing this in the video too, Sam, is that she had the tactical speed. She got into the right spot, 3 back, 1 off the fence. Widemu produced her at the right time. When you've gone back, it sort of fell into place. But what is she capable of? Is she just a horse who needs things to go her way, or can she overcome sort of a tougher run and be successful?
Yeah, the tactical speed is such a massive advantage. If you're able to put yourself sort of just in behind the speed or there or thereabouts, it saves you a lot of bad luck and a lot of complications. So, and in saying that, she is quite versatile. Like if she was to be ridden off the speed, I'm confident she could run just as well. And that's probably what makes one of the traits that makes her such a good horse. She takes it all in her stride, and she loves what she does, and she knows what she's there for. So I think going forward, it's really nice and gives us options. Like she hasn't actually drawn that well throughout her career, but she's able to put herself in a spot that she can be competitive and sort of takes bad luck out of the equation, which is a massive, massive help. And, there's some nice races over the Christmas period for her, and just really hopeful she can get that Group 1 this time around.
Sam, you spoke about that blueprint that you've got in place with Campionessa going Auckland Breeders into the Kalaizuzu, into the Zabel Classic, and you sort of suggested yesterday that maybe that's the path you'd take. But obviously, there's a Group 1, the TAB Classic at Trentham. Are you in stone, or could you maybe sort of divert the plan a little bit?
Yeah, we've sort of had a quick team talk. We're sort of leaning towards Tarapa at this stage. Obviously, if she was to pull out incredibly well, we would consider it. I think the Wellington Group 1 is going to be extremely strong field. It's they're shaping up with plenty of the main contenders there, and obviously you've got to get down there. It is a big trip on a 2-week turnaround. So I think we'd lean towards Tarapa at this stage, and it's more than likely we'll head there. But we'll certainly be open-minded and see how she does over the coming couple of days.
Sam, you mentioned some of those key races coming up, and you've got a host of other stable stars that might be targeting those races themselves. Obviously, Captured by Love, we saw a stakes winner during Cup Week in Quintessa. Can you just give us an update on those 2 horses too?
Yeah, so Captured by Love, she's another one we're sort of sitting down and having a bit of a talk about. So she'll either be at the Group 1 mile or the Kalaizuzu as well at this stage. We'll just see what the next few days sort of bring and have another chat to Mark and Dave and the team there. And Quintessa, she's unfortunately had a little bit of a setback. We were hoping to get her to the Group 1 mile at Trentham, but she's just having a quiet time of it. So just a little bit of a freshen up now, and just hoping over the sort of next week or so she can bounce back a bit and we can sort of crack on.
Okay, and Wild Knight was another one who we've seen retired this week. The others who are in the TAB's future markets there are My Lips Are Sealed and Cognito. Is there any chance either of those two go that way?
No, so My Lips Are Sealed, she's out for a bit of a freshen up as well. Just didn't come up quite as well this time around in the spring, and typically she sort of comes right over the sort of summer, autumn period. So hoping that's the case there again. Incognito, he's having a bit of a freshen up down south. He was about to run in the TAB mile and just spiked a bit of a temperature, and blood wasn't 100%. So he's just out in the paddock recovering, and hopefully we can get him to some nice races there in the sort of latter summer, autumn as well.
Sam, before we let you go, just a quick assessment on some of the others, what you wish for. Terrific in the Counties Cup, but also want to find out what you thought of Midnight Blue, and also with your 2-year-old in the stakes race yesterday as well.
Yeah, with the Vengeance, he was a bit disappointing. Obviously, he led them up, and with the eventual winner sat outside him, and he relaxed nicely. He did everything well. There was no real excuses on race day. He seems to have pulled up well. So, a bit of a freshen up for him. And the two horses in the Cup, I thought, run really well. It was a very strangely run race, and fair play to Ellen. She took the initiative and won the race with the ride. And we just sort of got back off of a very slow tempo, and unfortunately Midnight Blue was a little bit slow away, but was good to the line, so we'll potentially see him in the Waikato Cup, and just still weighing up what we do with what you wish for. I think sort of that 2400 is a little bit of a stretch for him, and saying that he was very, very good there yesterday and sprinted well, and obviously it was a really good close finish. I think he ended up finishing 6th, beaten just over half a length. So we potentially could see him in something like a Manawa 2 Cup if we could stretch him out, but just sort of see how he comes through it and sort of map out a plan for him.
All right, mate. Well, we very much appreciate your time, as you always do. It's never a question. You always just jump on for us, and we greatly appreciate it. Well done yesterday, and no doubt we'll talk soon.
No worries. Cheers, guys. Thanks for having me.
Good, man. Thank you so much. Sam Burgesson there out of Team Tiako, who had the success in the feature on the day, the Group 2 Auckland Thoroughbred Breeders' Stakes, which we can take a little bit of a deeper look at with the team here. So it was Kelly Alfarasha from Provence, Jaffe and Arabian Songbird. I mean, she got a beautiful trip from Winnamoo Pin, used the draw nicely and settled beautifully and put them away.
That's exactly where I had her mapped, and she just fell into the spot. And you can see here, she, on what was just a medium speed, they didn't do it too hard. Been able to peel 4 wide and straight go outside of Maratiri Mori, and I thought just terrific. There were a couple of eye catches. Obviously, the placed horses, Provence, very good, and Jaffe from just a little bit too far back reels off the quickest closing sectionals of the race. Kelly Alfarasha with the second quickest, last 8, 6, 4 and 2.
It was obviously hard to make ground yesterday at Pukekohe.
Especially once it dried out, right?
It certainly changed the complexion of the race, so I think that only adds merit to Jaffe's performance. Of the others, Provence, we spoke to Stephen Marsh this morning, heading towards the TAB mile, all being well. Thought that was a good effort by Provence, and will certainly find improvement out to the mile. As for Arabian Songbird, who was obviously started as our pre-start favourite, seems to have the great track record at Ellerslie, not so good at Pukekohe, but she didn't come through the race necessarily great. She's pulled a shoe and didn't fully stretch out on the firm track, so the team just sort of keen to give her a little bit of time to get over the run. And Orchestral, who obviously was the star of the field as such with her previous record, she had a cardiac arrhythmia. They're just going to, everything being well, press on to the Kalai Suzu. So that Kalai Suzu, although Sam mentioned in that interview the TAB mile is going to be strong, the Kalai Suzu is also shaping up to be a really good edition of the race.
Yeah, absolutely. When we talk about Jaffe being there, what he was talking about potentially captured by Love and Kelly Alfarasha being there, depending on which way they go. But like you say, I didn't think Arabian Songbird was the worst run. From a fairway back has made good ground, especially when they've got excuses. It's one you just don't, I think, want to be a little bit forgiving of. Just still run 4th. I thought a pretty good effort.
Yeah, I thought it was too. And we can hear from some of the beaten jockeys in behind Kelly Alfarasha, starting with Craig Grills on board Provence.
Yeah, great run today, Aidan. Just sort of threw back on the fence, had the winner outside me. As he's gone forward, made his run, I've got on his back and kicked away. She was, for a bit there, I thought I was going to pick her up. And she might have just started peaking the last little bit, second up today, but she's feeling great and she's come up really good. So mile next time, she'll be very hard to beat.
Yeah, I was happy with the run. Look, like I said, she is a bit of a difficult filly. Main thing is to get her to settle, and we were dictated from that draw. She wasn't away the best, so I didn't want to stoke her up and get her pulling, so I just opted to drop her at the back. And look, she found the line really good. She's probably we're probably looking to go a mile plus with her if we can, so she's heading in the right direction. Obviously, we'd like to have won, but look, can't fault her. She found the line really good, so very happy.
Yeah, huge run. She did the best she can. Just this now getting hard on the track. She might want further in the future.
Yeah, she's gone super. Look, obviously running off levels with horses rated well above her. Going to have a good season, I'd say.
There we go, the beaten jockeys out of the Thoroughbred Breeders' Stakes. And we can take a look at the pedigree page for the winner, the homebred by Tiako by El Manzour.
Yeah, certainly is, out of the mare Nucleonic, who of course makes it a half-sister to Nucleazor, Kali Alfarasha. So really important first black type win in that pedigree. So that's an important first step. And as we heard there from Sam, no doubt some more pedigree updates to come. But also, of course, out of a half-sister to Laurie Laxton's terrific filly in Mexican Rose. So a nice little connection there as well through the pedigree. But always valuable to have black type on the page, Aidan, and certainly will be well appreciated.
Yeah, it sure is. And you can just get that Tiako flavour right through there, can't you, with the influence of Burgundy going back into, Grand Deshizo, who's a Valor horse that David Ellis bought, I think, 3 mares from, or 3 colts from at the sales as well.
Alrighty, we'll take a quick break here on Weigh-In. On the other side, we're going to continue to look back to a fantastic day on Counties Cup Day down at Pukekohe.
Get a name, get a good thing while you can. Kiss a blind, kiss a friend. Okay. Can a gay girl get a name?
Our next race here at Pukekohe is the 9th, the My Racehorse Counties Cup Handicap at Group 3 over the 2100 metres. Number 9 is Final Return, third up from a break for Ellen Nicholas and Janelle Miller.
They'll be hoping he can try and get back some of his best form. I know when he's at his best, Final Return can be capable.
So even field this year, reflected in the market. Final Return goes in. Stand by for the start, the My Racehorse Counties Cup. Gates open, they're off. Khan Hunter began quickly with Electric Time near the inside. GG lands handy, followed by Sharp and Smart Aftermath, and from the deep, Blue Sky at Night goes forward, and with it also is Rosetown Princess. They head out towards the 1600 metres, and it's Khan Hunter the leader, steadies the tempo. Now Final Return, obviously not happy with the lack of speed, is going forward early in the race from last. Then followed further back in the field by Diamond Jack, Livid Sky and the stablemates. What You Wish For in Midnight Blue back there as well. GG's well back with Livid Sky, What You Wish For and Midnight Blue. Homeward bound they are in the Counties Cup, 400 metres to go. Khan Hunter tackled by Final Return. Blue Sky at Night looms up on the outside. Out wider, now Sassy Lass starting to appear. So too is What You Wish For at the 150. Final Return out wide, running on Aftermath. Blue Sky at Night and Rosetown Princess. It's Final Return, Final Return, Final Return, and then we've got a lineup. The ride won the race. Ellen Nicholas was last by 3 lengths leaving the straight. She shortly went forward after the pace was just lackadaisical, and that's the winning of the race. Well done to her.
Hit the nail on the head, George. The ride won the race.
It's bad when you get a Group 3 race at a Counties Cup and they'll go in that slow, but it's full credit to Ellen. She's just got this absolutely right, and the ride won the race.
Great training effort from Janelle Miller. Great to see this horse back into some form again.
Oh, I'm speechless. This is something that we aim for. We bring him up north because he likes going that way, and it was a perfect ride. He missed the kick, he was drawn out, and he's got a big cruising speed, and I said to Ellen, if he misses a kick, don't panic, just make some ground at the back straight, and she did exactly that. He's used to doing that. He's got to turn a foot, but he's better in front. So when she went early, I was like, I couldn't believe it.
He was just happy travelling. I got a breather into him as well, which was good because I wasn't sure if I was going to go too hard, but he was really, really strong. He got headed at the top of the straight, so I thought, he's going to run a really nice place here if he carries on, and then suddenly he just grew another leg and couldn't believe it. feel so lucky, and yeah, I'm just grateful to be out here, and then this is just a bonus.
Yeah, brilliant win from Final Return. Rosetown, Princess, Aftermath and Sharp and Smart were the runners in the top 4 there in the Counties Cup, the Group 3. And with us now is the woman who rode Final Return to victory, Ellen Nicholas. And Ellen, you heard there from George Simon, the trackside team, Janelle as well. The ride won the race. What does that mean to you to hear that? And also, where does this sort of thing rank in your career?
Definitely the best win of my career to date, and I guess relief that it paid off, because when doing something a little bit bold like that, it's all good if it works out, but maybe not if it doesn't work out. So yeah, relieved, and I'm very grateful to the Connections for putting me on and trusting me.
Ellen, obviously pre-race Janelle had sort of said if you can go forward to do. It didn't pan out like that, but just talk me through what was going through your mind when you did make the mid-race move, and what you were thinking as things unfolded.
Yeah, Janelle said ideally if we could kind of be thereabouts leading almost, because he's a big kind of rolling horse, but I did know that there'd be quite a bit of pace with Khan Hunter, Electric Time and Quickfire all been drawn kind of inside us, and I when we've jumped out the gates, he had a little bit of a squeeze, so we had no option but to go back. When we were that far back, I thought Janelle was going to be thinking, what on earth is she doing? But I just wanted him to be really relaxed and switched off, so that when I did decide to go around them, it wouldn't be too much effort for him, so that he just kept up his rhythm and momentum.
When you did go around them, Ellen, obviously you ended up then in a leading position, and as we heard and as we all talked about, that was sort of the winning of the race. When they were coming for you late, you seemed like that Final Return really lifted again to get you over the line.
Yeah, well, to be honest, it was good that Lindsay didn't hand up the lead, because I could fill him up a little bit and get a breather into him. But then when I come to the top of the straight, I felt, I think it was Blue Sky at Night had me, and I thought, oh, well, he's just going to run a nice place here if he carries on. But I actually pulled my stick through, and Chris Dahl told me to do that, and he really lifted, and he kicked on. So, yeah, really huge effort by the horse, to be fair.
Ellen, we were speaking about, just this being a huge high in your career, but it seems to be coming off a wave of great success. What's bringing you around to this, this terrific form that you're in at the moment? Can you put your finger on something?
I guess I've probably got a good mentality that I'm just grateful to be out riding, and I'm probably a lot more level-headed. Like, I guess when you first start out riding, you probably go a little while without riding winners, and you can get down about it, whereas if you just try and normalize it and know that you never know where your next winner's just around the corner, and yeah, I guess I'm quite good at trying to do my form, and just try and be prepared and keep fit and do a lot of work in the gym and things like that. So yeah, just give myself a good opportunity, I guess.
Ellen, you talk about being grateful to just be out riding, and that sort of leads me into the number of injuries that you've had across your career. For people at home who maybe don't know you as well as we do here in the studio, could you just talk us through some of those injuries and the journey that you've had to get back riding?
I don't know if we've got that much time, but yeah, no, had a few. Probably had I had about 7 surgeries on my leg or something stupid like that, and done my shoulder twice, and yeah, all sorts of bother. So no, it's good to be working order, and pretty grateful to have my body still working good. So yeah.
How much mental fortitude has it taken though? Because you have been through so much to get back to this point. What kind of mental fortitude have you had to show?
I guess because I've been through an injury a couple of times, you kind of understand what you need to do to get back riding, but like it's never easy, and it's just, I guess, whether you want to do it or not. But yeah, I think the last injury I thought I wasn't going to ride again, but it's actually quite hard to give up. So yeah.
Well, you are flying at the moment. A massive congratulations on yesterday and your season so far. We all hope that it obviously continues. Thank you so much for jumping on as well, and safe riding today.
Thank you.
Good stuff. Alan Nicholas there, who was of course on final return, winning the Counties Cup there. Brilliant to see her in such good form, considering everything we've just spoken about.
Well, one thing she said there, she said her body's in working order, and we researched this, her body of injuries. Let's, obviously not the right word of saying, but it's extensive, right, Emily?
It is. Obviously, a broken leg, dislocated forearm, unconscious, fluid on the lungs, partially dislocated shoulder. That was one injury alone. And I think from the research that we did, I wish we should be getting Ellen to talk to this, but she's been injured 6 times in riding accidents that have sort of halted her career, and she's had to rebuild. So when she says, I've come back, I know what it takes because I've done it before. She is bang on the money. It was a really good ride yesterday.
Oh, super
and
ride.
it's coming off, as we talked about, a wave of excellent rides. So full credit to her. She's in flying form. And for Janelle Miller as well, who we haven't really spoken about, a huge result for her as well. She does a great job with her horses.
The sectionals of the race really tell a story just around how little work that she's had to do. So from the 1800 to the 1400, she's gone 13.5, then quickened a little, 13.12, then to 12.14, 11.95, and is in front at that point without having to, really go much under a sub-12 second furlong. So after that, she's gone 12.41, 12.42. So she's been able to, as she said, get the breather into the horse, and it has effectively turned it into a sit sprint, and luckily for her, final returns are the best. I can't understand it though. In a field of these horses who are really wanting this distance, why was no one putting the foot down? Why was no one trying to get horses out of their comfort zones?
And that, I suppose, brings us to that it was an incredibly muddling race, and how do we weigh up some of the beaten horses in behind? Obviously, you had a number of horses that have got home well, and what they can do off the running of sort of a pretty muddling event. Was there anything that you took out of it, the horses we should be following?
There's definitely some, especially the late sectionals. Like one of those horses was the horse that Stam spoke about earlier, What You Wish For, who's run home the quickest last 8 and 6, second quickest last 400. But from where the horse was, it's come from last, and obviously had to circle the field. Sharp and Smart's got another cracker under the big weight when he's had to. When you've got a big weight, you want to be able to get rolling into these races. He just couldn't do it just from where he was.
Is that always how he races?
Well, yeah, to reel off the quickest last 200 in the race, which he did, under 59 kilograms, I thought it was a really nice effort, a perfect trial for the Waikato Cup. But there were out-and-out stayers in this race who just didn't take advantage of, try and make it a staying race. They were dictated to by, like you say, Emily, a really muddling pace.
I quite like the run of Gigi in there as well.
Gigi
who
was
blocked
very
a number
unlucky.
of times up the straight and still got home for that 5th spot. So, really think Gigi's a horse to follow as well. A number of black bookers I think we can take out of the Counties Cup.
On the clock as well, Gigi, quickest last 400, second quickest last 6, 8, 6 and 200 of the race. So it was probably, of the lot of them, as you said, was unlucky, didn't get the clearest runs, and very good. And again, another horse probably heading to a Waikato Cup. To speak to Daryl Hollinshead afterwards with Rosetown Princess, I'm not 100% sure whether they press on to the Waikato Cup. I'd say the vast majority of the others. Maybe not Diamond Jack, he might be just coming to the end of it, but I'd say we'll see a lot of them. And then we want to see a truly run 2,400 metre race at Te Rapa.
We will get to the Counties Bowl shortly, but just before we move on from that, we were hoping to have Janelle Miller on, but she is in the float. She did send us a message, though, that we said we would read out. She said, I want to give a huge thank you to my team at home. Charlie rides him most days and does such a fantastic job. She has a real connection with him, as she does with most horses. She's such a kind rider and always brings a positive attitude. Credit also to his farrier, Lane Cameron. He's not the easiest horse to shoe, given his conformation and the fact he can sometimes strike himself, so Lane deserves real acknowledgement. Thanks as well to Bex, his vet, Dale, his sports therapist, and Chris for helping get him to this point. Ellen really showed her class yesterday and executed the Plan B tactic perfectly. I couldn't have asked for a better ride. He'll head out to the paddock now for 7 days before we start prepping him for the Queen Elizabeth on New Year's Day. This win is particularly special to me as my granddad Jack Taylor won the Counties Cup with Lord Majestic many years ago. He's a big part of why days like this matter so much to me. So I thought that was a fantastic message to get, and awesome of you, Janelle, to send that through, and well done to you on your success there in the Counties Cup. We move on to the Counties Bowl. This was a nice performance here by Ardalio.
It sure was. A couple of talking points out of the race. Cosi Asano, obviously, with the treble on the day. But if we just sort of unpack what happened, Ardalio was, Aidan, really the only horse you wanted to be on turning in. Last one to come off the bridle and just got that beautiful suck into it. Obviously, as I mentioned, mentioned, Cozzy gets the treble, and I know speaking to Stephen Marsh, they're thinking of heading towards the Telegraph. That's the plan. They're just going to work their way there. So a really nice performance by Ardalia.
They were able to take advantage of barrier 1, show intent, take the trail when Larsa crossed, and from there was always going to be hard to beat. I just wanted to find excuses for Midnight Edition. I think the wide run was maybe a telling point there, but Twain's gone past that horse. Obviously, there's a little bit of late movement. I don't think it cost any horse anything again. Midnight Edition was inclined to just to lay in sort of around the 200 as well.
A little bit 3 wide with cover, yeah.
I just don't know what I expected more from Midnight Edition. I think he's high class. And he's run really well. He's run third, but I maybe just expected a touch more from him. But I want to be forgiving of him as well at the same time, but also want to really respect the quality of Ardalia's performance. And I think they're looking to Trentham now, is that right?
Yeah, the Telegraph. So they're just going to work their way towards the Telegraph. That's the main target from the Marsh camp.
And of course, Marsh, Le Bretagne, they've got Tardelli heading in the same direction too. So, it's a really nice hand for them. Like you spoke about Cozzy Asano, and we did speak to him afterwards. He's got doing a lot of work for the Marsh stable. He's off to Korea on Tuesday, where he'll continue riding in wintry conditions. But he rode beautifully yesterday, and that was a peach.
I thought Hiddebel was really good out of that race as well. Just worked her way off heels and got home nicely. She's been building, but there's a look at the Telegraph market, which
it's shaping up as another cracking race.
It absolutely is. Some great sprinters in there. I think we can look forward to those.
The sprinting landscape has changed though, with the railway moving now to Karaka Millions later in the month. So some of those horses who are out and out right-handed firm trackers can head north, and the ones who just a bit more 1,400 metres need the dog leg can head to Trentham. So yeah, they've both got their chances, and ideally we can see horses target both.
Well, there was one more feature on the card that we want to take a look at. It was the Challenge Stakes for the 2-year-olds, won by Diarmas from Harvey Wallbanger, Spellbound and Parfait de Manche. And with us now is the trainer of Diarmas, and that is Jono Benner. Jono, thank you very much for jumping on, mate, and congratulations to you. Waking up today, you must be pretty excited about the horse that you've got on your hands.
Oh, I don't know if excited is the word, because you wake up and then you just start thinking about it again. And obviously with the good horses comes the responsibility, doesn't it? So, but no, it is nice to have a nice fast 2-year-old again for sure.
Jono, she looks like she's the consummate professional. She showed that yesterday, having that first start right-handed. And obviously, you spoke about that, the way she sort of stretches out over the ground. She's got a beautiful action. Tell us a little bit about her behind the scenes.
Oh, look, she's the ultimate professional. Literally nothing worries her. She doesn't break a sweat. I think it's 26 degrees there, and she wouldn't even have got warm. So makes the job a little bit easier when they've got a great brain and take everything in their stride like she does, that's for sure.
Jono, how's she come through the race?
She got home at midnight last night. I'm not home yet, but I'm home today. But she went straight out in the paddock, and I got a video, and she looked straight into a feed bin. So, yeah, it looked like she's pulled up pretty good.
Johnny, you own the filly with obviously a couple of friends and long-standing clients. Tell us about the ownership group and what they mean to you.
Oh, look, I've got a core group of people there that they're not even really clients, I suppose. They're more friends, and they become, they are clients, but they're just very loyal people. And I buy the horses, and I ring them up and say, "Hey, can I have 50,000?" And there it is. And they just love it. There's 4 or 5, 6, 7 of them. They all know who they are. They don't doubt me. They let me do what I want to do with the horses, and they just absolutely love it. So it's always a bit more special when you do these sort of things with people that are close to you. So no, it was a good day yesterday.
Jono, we touched on that backstory yesterday, and it was obviously a reset in your career. It really must be so fulfilling to see her come back and just stamp her mark and say, "Yep, I'm back on the right track again," right?
Oh, that's it. It was satisfying. Yeah, I mean, obviously it's only a listed race, and we've won bigger ones, but it was a little bit special just because obviously racing's a tough game. People, it's 24/7. And I got to the point there where I suppose I was just burnt out, and I wasn't enjoying doing what I was doing, and had to process a few things, and I was happy enough to put my hand up and just step away. And probably everyone gives me a bit of grief about the shortest retirement, but I think Opie's got the shortest retirement. And so I'm happy to take the second shortest retirement. But still, you never lose the love for the game. I was sitting on the couch watching all the races. I kept an eye on it. And, just sort of one thing led to another, and now there's a new stable at the Otaki Racecourse with 12 horses in it. So we're enjoying it again and bouncing out of bed and looking for these style of horses, the 2 and 3 year old horses. The winter racing doesn't interest me too much, but if we can keep finding these horses, well, it'll be good.
Jono, obviously a path towards the Karaka Million is what you want. Tell us how you get there and what you do with Diamas from here.
That's a tough one. There's there's 3 options really. I'd almost back ourselves to get her to the Karaka Millions without racing again. It's a big trip if we had to, but at the same time she's a filly, so black type is valuable. You've got Wellington and obviously the Eclipse, so the spacings are all nice. So whether we run in one of those races or go straight in, that's something I'm going to have to work out in the next week or 10 days. But check her out, see how she is first, and then go from there.
Is there any part of you that would like her to have a run at Ellerslie before Karaka Millions night?
The old rule of thumb is they say you have to, but look, sort of when I was thinking back about it, a lot of the time horses I've taken there have won their first start there. So, I mean, I don't know if it actually is. She's put it this way, she's the sort of horse that I'd be pretty confident to say she wouldn't need a run there before.
Johnny, you've trained some pretty good horses. I'm thinking of Humidor, of Windspell, of Vespa across your career. Yesterday you said Diamas could be the best horse that you've trained. What sort of leads you to that conclusion?
Well, she's just got nowhere near the bottom of her, I don't think. And she's only a 2-year-old. Obviously, Humidor was very, very good. Scott Bass probably never saw the best of him. He could have been anything if he was a little bit sounder. She just ticks nearly every box, apart from not being by Savabeel out of a Group 1 mare or something like that. She ticks every other box you want in a racehorse. So even looking at her through the line yesterday and after the line, she was getting further away. Like Kelly had to pull her up, and then she comes back to the birdcage and she wouldn't have blown a candle out. So just something a little bit above average at the stage. So it's very exciting.
Awesome, mate. Alrighty, well, we very much appreciate you jumping on. Sorry for interrupting your breakfast. We look forward to seeing her hit the track again. Go well.
Thanks, mate. Thanks for having me on.
Good man. Thank you. John O'Bena there out and about after a nice win from Diamas, who really looks a nice filly going forward.
Sure does. Lots of potential. When you watch that replay of her just then, the way she lengthens the toe flick, it's a really beautiful action to watch. She would obviously, I was thinking, she's appreciating the good track, but she did it a couple of weeks before on a heavy track. She's showing how versatile she is, how professional she is. Love the way she got to the line.
Yeah, just the slow motion of her coming back to scale, go, wow, this is a mover. And she's beautifully put together. She's not overly big, but she's been beautifully handled. She's presented well yesterday. And the one thing we keep seeing from her time and time again is that she doesn't just go up to horses, she puts them away. Massive run here from Harvey Wallbanger. That's the run of the race outside the winner, and probably the run of the race. Was just luckless, got into the wrong spot, hits the line with the quickest closing sectionals. Diamas with all the second quickest closing sectionals. But when we saw it last season with Robbie Patterson, sort of saying Lucy's the best horse we've trained, and that was after a win, and then she went on Group 3, Group 1. Maybe this horse is just going to prove John O's bang on, because he's a super trainer, super bloke, and I love having him on here, and him wearing his heart on the sleeve yesterday was fantastic for the race day for mine.
Yeah, it was one of the moments of the meeting, that was for sure. I think based off what we sort of discovered throughout that program at Pukekohe, Harvey Wallbanger's run gets even more merit based on how things sort of shaped in terms of race patterns throughout the day. Spoke to Tony Pike, 10 days in the paddock, and then the Eclipse on New Year's Day for Harvey Wallbanger, not eligible for the Karaka Million. So for them, I guess it's all about black type.
Yeah, the Hawkins family bred just didn't, I don't think X-rayed so well, and so they opted not to take through sales. I said to Pikey yesterday, I said, geez, wish you'd taken it through, entered in the sale, then withdrawn or whatever, or taken it through, and then you're eligible for Karaka Million, but you obviously don't know what you've got until race day, and they've got a pretty good one.
Yeah, they certainly do. One more race that we do want to take a look at is down at Wanganui. It was the Open 1,340 metre affair won by Spencer, racing for his new stable.
Sure was. It was a first run for Peter and Sean Mackay. Although with the claim, was well positioned at the weight, still carried a good bit more than the second and third horses. Looped the field, was ridden like the best horse, and really got home well. Obviously, connections have indicated that Group 3 Spring Sprint is where they want to head in.
Yeah, obviously won the Group 3 Spring Sprint when it was at Te Rapa for his former trainer, Aaron Hockard. Has just been shifted to Peter and Sean Mackay. I spoke to Sean Mackay this morning. He said it was basically out of the blue. They got offered the horse with no real explanation. They didn't ask too many questions, but they will now look at that Spring Sprint. I think it's a 59 top weight for that Group 3, which is on TAB Mufasa Classic Day at Trentham. So a couple of really nice races. They'll look to probably use a senior woman jockey. They think that he runs best for women going through the record, but it was a really nice win. Bedtime Story going well in behind, but yeah, it was just a nice start for new quarters, and obviously Aidan and Kieran Schumacher, who race this horses, they used to train out of Midhurst. They've opted to shift the horse, and it's a little bit of a shame for Erin Hockard. I know she had an operation coming up and things, but it's one of those racing things, sometimes you've got horses that move on.
Yeah, exactly right. We will take a quick break here on Weigh In. On the other side, Team Weigh In gets out and about.
Might as well just cast away. Take my hand and run. I know what I'll bring with me
to Russell, tell me the importance of National Thoroughbred Week.
Look, Emily, it's a fantastic opportunity for probably some of the uninitiated and those people who only see racing from a media perspective or on TV to actually understand what goes on behind the scenes and to see the effort and time and passion that is dedicated towards these animals and most importantly the care. There's an enormous amount of hard work and a large amount of care that's put into them.
How do you think we grow this concept? Because obviously it's such an integral part of what we do.
Oh, look, I just think these opportunities like this, letting people have an insight, and I think we've seen it at race clubs where they take people behind the scenes around to the barriers and show them what is involved in a race day and that sort of thing, so that people don't make assumptions very quickly that are ill-founded or misguided. So I just think, obviously you've got to have a love for the horse or a passion for the horse, and I think everyone in the industry just needs to reach out and understand that some of these people don't know, and it's our opportunity and our job to really inform them along the way as to what a great industry we've got and the multiple pathways that exist within the industry to be involved.
Tell me about the response that you've had to National Thoroughbred Week. Have you been impressed?
Look, we have from the point that people have travelled some distance to get here, to be here, and the expressions on their face when they drive in, and we're very, very fortuitous that we've got a lovely property, and but for them just to be able to get up and close and personal, young kids, 12, 13-year-old, patting foals and touching stallions and that sort of thing under guidance, just the smiles and the feelings that you see that they immerse in them.
When this plays, it'll be Sunday. You still have a tour on Monday. Can people still be involved?
100%. And beyond that, my view is that we've got an open door policy here. We think that the opportunity to go to any farm, and it's quite amusing to think at Karaka here, there's a lot of traffic drive past our gate, and there's a lot of people that say to you, oh, I've always admired the place, but I've never felt comfortable enough about driving in the gate. The message is, please do. We'll make sure that there's someone available to give you a talk and a walk around and just explain it to you. And I think having that attitude of being able to invite people, whether they're going to be financially beneficial or they're just people who are interested in the business, I think that breaks down the number one barrier to start with.
Good to see Westbury and everyone involved in National Thoroughbred Week. I mean, it's the first time they've done it, so it's only going to grow from here, but it's a good starting point, I think, to continue to get people who don't know the ins and outs of how everything works, start to educate them.
And we had Vicky Leonard, of course, on weigh-in last week, and she spoke so eloquently about National Thoroughbred Week and its importance. And I think it's year one, and it's great to see some people stepping out, and we can only hope that it grows and grows. And just huge kudos to industry people who have opened their doors and allowed people inside to see the workings of studs, of stables, of veterinary clinics, of all aspects of our industry. We should be proud of how we look after our horses, and this is a week we can celebrate that.
Yeah, and it's been great, hasn't it, for so many people to get involved. But the one thing I was a little bit dubious of, I was thinking, we're not going to see those newbies, but what we're seeing, we definitely are. There are people who haven't had this is their first time experience. And we saw it at Pukekohe Park yesterday with a few groups and brought around being shown. Certainly broadcasting was one area, and they'd gone around the stables and things as well. And some of those people have never been on a racetrack before.
Well, that's the best thing, I think.
And they were coming from far away. They were coming from certainly to Westbury, out of Auckland, and travelling a fair distance to get involved. So that can only grow, fingers crossed.
Yeah, well done to everyone involved in that. We need more of that. That is for sure. There's been a couple of sad moments during the week, I suppose. One, first of all, that we want to touch on is obviously the situation with Bailey Rogerson. And Aidan, you caught up with Graham, her grandfather, yesterday at the races.
Yeah, we interviewed him live on trackside. Obviously, it's all stemming from a fall at last Sunday, and it's just it's something we just don't want to see. Obviously, these jockeys put themselves at risk the whole time. She's been in induced coma for a lot of the week, but she has made progress. Graham saying she's eating, talking, has her eyes open for 10 seconds, responding to people around her, which is great. And she's saying, she's showing that real toughness that Bailey's got, which is great. She's got the right support network around her, and she's got she's a jockey, naturally fit, and we just want to see her make a really great recovery and get back to being a full healthy human being, basically.
Yeah, she's a wonderful woman. I was lucky enough to do a story on her when she rode her first Group 1. I think she was the youngest in the world to ride in a Group 1 at Ellerslie New Year's Day a few years ago. In my former job, did a story, and she's a wonderful young woman.
Yes, she is.
So, hopefully full recovery to you, Bailey. Wish you the very best. Also, some fairly sad news as well. Some black armbands were worn during the week after the passing of Gary Williams.
Yeah, so that was the first race yesterday. The jockeys wearing black armband. Now, Gary Williams is obviously sort of noted as a dad of a couple of pretty high-profile comedians in New Zealand, but he was a part owner of Excellent. He was a part owner of Tinseltown, who won a Counties Cup going back a few years. There's Mike and Paul Moroney in that shot with Excellent. Now, Paul was on track yesterday, told me that only a matter of a short period of time ago did Gary celebrate his 500th winner in both codes as his changeover, another of his top horses in the harness code. So he had many good horses, but he was just a good bloke. You see him around, obviously from sort of the Tasman area, but you see him at Ellerslie, always happy to have a yak, and he's just a really popular bloke who will be sadly missed in racing.
Yeah, exactly right. On a more positive note, though, we saw the return to racing at Pukekohe on Sunday.
This has got so much coverage, and it's awesome to see, because it was great to have racing back at Pukekohe, and it certainly went off with a bang. It looked like an absolutely brilliant day out. Great to see all the locals out and about. There was loads on offer for everyone. The racing was good, and people just enjoying country racing as they should. I understand our co-worker Bevan Sweeney was offered a slot in this mascot race and declined it, which I'm really disappointed about.
He pulled out every excuse in the book. I did see a little bit of that.
Hamstrings and ankles.
Yeah, he said he hasn't run for a long time. It didn't matter, but anyhow. Hats off to Kirsty Lawrence, who really was the instigator of getting this back on track. But one thing it really does show, that there is a place for grassroots country racing in New Zealand, and they did a great job with getting that track back. It hadn't been raced on for quite some time, obviously, but the track, it's going to be hard and fast and favour those on speed for sure. But to get that track prepared and that showcase country racing like it did, brilliant job.
And we talk about National Thoroughbred Week and the importance of getting people to the races, and events like that certainly do that.
I would have paid money to see Bevan Sweeney in a dinosaur costume. Yeah. One day we will get that to happen. We're going to take a quick break. On the other side, we'll find out our moments of the week and our Weight Watchers as well. Bruce Sherwin, part of, well, there's no team weigh-in here, but you are officially team weigh-in. How are you, mate? Beautiful day for a bit of golf.
Yeah, bench warmer though, weigh-in. Occasional.
Never.
It's a classic day, isn't it? It's a really good chance to catch up with people in the social setting. So much that's good about racing comes from the social interactions we have.
Too right. Do you play much golf?
Not enough.
Does anyone play enough?
No, but do enjoy it and getting out and yeah, once you appreciate you're not that good at the game, the enjoyment levels increase as well.
Who's on your team?
Tony Pike, Little Pike, Oliver, whose handicap's probably exaggerated down. He probably thinks he's a better golfer than he actually is. And Leith Innes, who's probably in the same category as well.
Well, you just make sure that you just keep Leith Innes in line, okay? That's the only thing I want from you today.
Impossible.
Jack McNabb, the only McNabb who hasn't been on weigh-in yet, but we're about to change that. What's the plan today, rip and bust?
Hit it as hard as I can, hope it goes straight.
I think you're starting with 3 par 5s, aren't you? So is it just from the word go, try and hit it as far as you can?
Yeah, well, 3 par 5s is a bit unfair, I reckon, but yeah, hit it as hard as I can, hopefully we get something out of it.
How do the other brothers stack up when it comes to golf, or are you leading the way?
I'd say I lead the way, but I've never seen Michael play, but I heard he can hit a ball, and Sam can hit it when he wants to.
Okay. What about the rest of sport?
Yeah, they've got me on that one.
All right, Hamish McNeil, winter weigh-in against summer weigh-in.
Yeah.
What are we putting on the line?
I mean, your pockets might be a bit deeper than mine, especially after the way I ended the season. So, but I mean, $50.
Yeah, all right. And pride?
100% pride. I'll never live it down. My family won't let me live it down if I lose. So yeah, 100%.
Well, you're not as good as your brother. How good's he going at the moment?
I mean, Savabill's got plenty of brothers. You know, they never made it to the track, but he goes all right. He's actually just qualified for the second stage of Q school, which is in a couple of weeks. So I mean, I'm sure I've got a little bit of ability there, but we'll see what happens.
Well, the unfortunate thing for me is that he had more ability than me on Friday, and I do indeed owe you $50, Hamish McNeil. So when I see you next, I'll get that to you. Well done. Well done to Team Clotworthy as well, who took out the day. Leith also beat me, so I've got a tough year ahead of me, actually, before the next one.
I'm just wondering, Aidan, how we get invited. Is it just big timers only? We just don't...
I don't know.
Yeah,
I didn't even know it was on.
I can't hit a ball, but I could maybe just drive the golf cart, or, you know, it looks like fun.
Hey, if you're up for that, yeah. All right, we'll get you on next time. Our moments of the week and Weight Watchers time. We'll start with our moments of the week first. And Emily, I'll throw it straight to you.
I'm going back to National Thoroughbred Week again because I think it was just a great success, great for our industry, and I think it's a really cool concept that's only going to grow, and I've loved the support that the industry has put behind it, and I think it is something we'll be seeing a lot more of in years to come.
Aidan?
I think it's a pretty cool moment when you sort of, you know, like the Caskey family are all Stratford. I remember Janelle Miller from being like a little kid from when she was young, played rugby with her brother and things, and for her daughter Bella to be strapping this horse, lead this horse back as we were doing the interview, and I was able to say to her, look over your shoulder, and it's just a special moment to see that and be part of it, and having known her, and she spoke about Lord Majestic and Jack Taylor and all the great heritage that, you know, I grew up around Kingdom Bay and those sort of horses, so yeah, it's a pretty cool moment.
That is what the great game is all about. My moment of the week is back to Thursday. For people who aren't regular Out the Gate viewers, this is Mark Taipati, who wrote this theme song for our show. He loves racing, and he just tapped BP on the shoulder one day at the races and said, I've written you guys a theme song, and it is outstanding.
It is outstanding. I did a double take on this when I saw it. It was remarkable stuff. I wasn't sure it was real, but it was. What a way to go into profit land.
Brilliant. Exactly. We got to profit land. Not only did we get to profit land, but 3 times people's money at home. So glad we could do that for you, for people who get involved on our Thursday show. Rightio, Weight Watchers time. Emily, I think I'm coming to you first again.
You sure are. I went with Jarthy from the weekend. I just thought it was a really good run. I think Jarthy is a horse that we can follow into those big summer features against what the track was providing, had to make up ground, and did a really good job in the closing stages to win that Auckland Thoroughbred Breed.
Yeah, I'm big on Jaffe as well. I think she's really talented. I've gone a couple of races beforehand. This the rating 75-14. Moxie was terrific winning at Ellerslie last preparation. Has now won 3 of 6 with a brilliant win yesterday. Quickest last 6-4 and 2. I think Ken Harrison's got a rising star on his hands with her.
I thought there was actually a horse in that race as well that was worth a look. Basil Warrior, I think it finished 9th in that race, but really looked like it was going to the line nicely. This is mine, race 1. Pukana, taken back, went wide and still went strongly to the line, so I think possibly worth following out of that race. That is pretty much all we have time for here on Weigh-In. Thank you very much for tuning in. Thanks to the Saddlery Warehouse, by the way, for sponsoring our Moments of the Week. We'll see, I don't know if either of you are here next week, but we'll see whoever is here next week for another edition of Weigh-In. You enjoy your week of racing. Go well.
The money was well placed here. Diarmas wins it.
I don't want to get emotional, but to have loyal owners and people that have just helped me back here this quick, you know, means a lot.
Twain's coming after it strongly. Adalia with a kick though. Dahlia will win it from Twain. Kali Alfarasha wins the Breeders' Stakes.
Gee, she sprinted well and was really good to the line, so hopefully she's in for an exciting summer.
It's final return, final return.
I feel so lucky, and yeah, I'm just grateful to be out here, and then this is just a bonus.